Hey everybody, in today's video, we're actually not going to be doing a tutorial since I kind of wanted a break from all of that, just for a week. So today we're going to be playing as Chile in the new Trial of Allegiance DLC in Hearts 4. And my goal is going to be to turn communist, and then after that to unite the entirety of South America by doing the American Revolution decisions that we'll get after flipping ideology and doing a couple more focuses. And my divisions, at least in the start, well actually for most of the game, will just be the militia divisions that you get at the beginning, since we won't really have a big economy until we unite a lot of South America. And for my construction, I'm going to build infrastructure in my highest infrastructure states, and then build civilian factories afterwards. And also, with my dockyards, I'm just going to build convoys, since we'll be taking our navy from the other South American countries. And then we're going to do the policies of Arturo Alessandri. And after, I believe it's doing an anti-fascist coalition, we're going to criticize liberal incompetence, and that will start our path to communism. And we'll just keep doing that, and do a motion of no confidence towards our leader, which will actually finish the election of 1938 for us. And while we do that, I'm going to do a focus to get just an extra military factory. And I'm going to choose Elias as our leader, since he gives us some pretty good economic buffs, and I'm going to keep him even after the Santiago conference. Also, I'm going to have to use my saved up political power to do some more conscription, because you don't have very much manpower as Chile, and that will be an issue with our first few wars in South America. But now it's time to actually become fully communist, which we partially do by increasing presidential powers, but we need to fully do it as in being able to spread it to the nations surrounding us. And to do that, I'm going to support the International Revolution instead of joining the Comintern, and then doing the focus that allows me to launch revolutions in other South American countries, and I think in just basically any Hispanic country except for the actual Iberian nations. And now it's time to actually start preparing to fight some of these countries. And my first target will be Uruguay, and to be honest, wasn't the greatest first target. It isn't a success, and we end up having to go after Bolivia first anyways. But I am going to show my failed attempt to win the war against Uruguay. But I mean, the thing is, our vassal that pops out of Uruguay, or puppet, I mean, we played too much CK3. Our puppet that pops out of there only got like one division, so we weren't able to successfully do anything. And while we do that, we're going to do some land reforms and stuff like that in order to get rid of the Mapuche conflicts. And if you see me taking decisions to increase like communist support in other countries, it's just to set up us being able to launch revolutions later on. And now we're going to deal with Bolivia, and Bolivia is significantly easier because their army, I think, got like split in half, and then most of their victory points were pretty undefended. And Bolivia is out of the way, and our next goal is going to be to overthrow Paraguay. Paraguay is going to be a lot more of a pain because the tiles are a lot better to defend. They're a lot easier to defend, I mean. And at least from what I've found, is that Paraguay tends to just spam out a lot of divisions, and so how I'm going to deal with them to actually beat Paraguay, I'm going to have a fallback line in the Andes Mountains that will just have the probably 10 or so Paraguay divisions marching to Bolivia, and then we'll just go through a weak point in the south and then encircle them and repeat until we're able to actually fully capitulate Paraguay. That's basically just how you have to beat Paraguay. You can do it through brute force, but it takes significantly longer. Basically, none of these wars are going to be super fun. But I do try to brute force just once, just to see how good their defenses will be. But once I realize I'm not going to be able to push without losing a bunch of men, I fall back, and we just do this cycle of letting them come in, then encircling them, and then doing that until they don't have enough divisions to defend themselves. And now with Paraguay defeated, we let our puppet, well, we actually help our puppet take the land because I think I got too much war participation for them to take it normally. But after Paraguay is defeated, peace deal's over, we can start the revolution in Brazil. And this is going to be the last actually challenging war that we're going to have to fight. But it's definitely not the longest. I think the longest was either Venezuela or Brazil. I mean, not Brazil. Venezuela or Peru. But first we're going to go with Brazil. And the main goal in this war, at least in the start, is I'm going to just try and have some puppet divisions in the south defending ourselves from Uruguay. And then I'm going to have the main army go around the coast of Brazil and pick up the majority of their economy, population, and victory points. However, this won't be enough to immediately capitulate them. But it will do enough damage to where they're not really able to fight very well. And after we defeat Brazil, that is pretty much the entire challenge of this whole campaign over. Now the only thing is just painstakingly pushing through nations where we know we're going to win. I mean, pretty much know we're going to win the war with, but we still have to push through their awful provinces and stuff that have super high defense and low supply and everything, because it's South America. But to save you from boredom, I am actually going to make that into a bit of a montage that should last just a few minutes, and then we'll get back to the last stage of getting this achievement. And the achievements I'm going for are the ones, I think it's URSAL or something like that, that you basically get after uniting South America as a communist nation. And plus, I just thought it would be cool to go through the communist path of the focus tree to get a cool formable nation that you get from taking over South America as Chile. So anyways, on to the revolution montage, I guess I'll call it. And now, after defeating Peru, which is the final South American country, I'm going to do propose closer cooperation, which will unite us with all of our puppets. Pretty much guaranteed, I'm pretty sure. And then I'm going to prepare to quickly take over the Allied territory in South America so that we don't really actually have to fight a full-on war to like capitulate the UK and the United States and everything. And to do this, I will, well, first we need to actually, get everybody annexed. But after everybody's annexed, I'm going to take all of the divisions I get from it, delete them all, including the ones that I started with, which honestly, kind of wish I didn't do. And then I'm going to train up 120 divisions of just a slightly modified Division de Infantari division that will just have, I think, support artillery and engineering companies added to it. And then once we get all 120 divisions of those, we're going to have one army take down the Dutch part of South America, one army take down the British part in Guiana, then have one army split into two that will deal with the islands, and then I'll have another army naval invade the Falklands. And with everything going well, they should allow us to actually form, I think it's Union of Hispanic Republics or something like that. Just as long as we're able to hold on to that territory for 70 days, which shouldn't be too difficult, since we should have well over enough divisions to fight any sort of naval invasion. But also, your navy should be extremely strong at this point if you've been, if you're playing along. I don't know why I'm talking like it's a tutorial, but, if you're playing along, Navy should be really strong at this point because you should be taking the AI's Navy in every single peace deal. And I believe you should inherit whatever the AI built whenever you annex your puppets. But anyways, here's the last war. I say war, not really a war, because it doesn't end, but we're just going to quickly seize the rest of South America from the Allies. Oh yeah, and also I built up a very small air force, but it was enough to help me take over the islands, which would normally be a pain to take over. And I kind of forgot about this achievement. I guess my brain thought it was just for Brazil, but I also got Rumble in the Jungle, which means that I owned all Amazonian states while being a South American country. But after we take all the territory, I do the Union of Hispanic Republics focus, and this allows me to unite South America and core everything, which leaves us with a pretty big economy and a pretty decent manpower pool. And to be honest, if I was able to do it a lot faster, this would be a great setup for like world conquest or something. But it's 1945, so I decide, I got like 2 achievements in this campaign, and they're pretty rare ones, so it was a good campaign. Don't really need to, drag it on and take over the Allies. So, that is the end of the video. If you enjoyed, leave a like. If you want to see more like this, subscribe. And if you have some suggestions, leave a comment. See you all later, and ciao.